Welcome to the Ill Noise Business Playbook. I am here with Doug Childers of Tasty Catering. Doug, how you doing today, man?
Man, I'm doing great. Like I said, just getting over a little illness, but doing great.
Awesome. We love seeing people power through things, man. That's what you gotta do in life, right? So before we kind of get started with talking about your business, Tasty Catering, I kind of want to, if you can kind of reference how we met and the importance of you kind of being at an event like we ended up meeting at.
Yeah, honestly, I met Neha first at a one event. It was in Lake in the Hills at a Mexican restaurant, I believe, and it was fantastic. She was fantastic. And we just, we stayed in touch loosely, and then met at the next one. And then I believe you were there as well, and just kind of blossomed from there. It was two really good souls. I feel like with you and Neha, and then I try to be a decent human being, so I think it was just three good people meeting each other.
Right on. You're definitely a good guy, man. Although you wouldn't be on the show if we didn't feel you're a good guy. So definitely appreciate the kind words. Neha will be the one editing this, so she'll hear those kind words, but I'll repeat them. She always likes to hear that. Well, Doug, let's talk about, I had an opportunity. So we did meet at that one network and a big extravaganza, but usually when you do big events like that, it's natural to get somebody to cater the business. And I had the opportunity to meet you. I had the opportunity to sample your food, of which thumbs up. I thought it was really great. Really appreciate it. What you tell us what inspired you to start your business? Like, where did that come from? Did you start cooking when you were younger and stuff? But what motivated you to do what you're doing? And just kind of tell the story of Tasty Catering.
Well, full disclosure is I don't own Tasty Catering. I'm the director of business operations.
Okay.
But what brought me into the food service industry, I bartended through college and waited tables through college. I actually played rugby while I was in college, and one of my rugby mates became general manager of this nice little Italian place, and he needed some help, and the pay was good, and I love working in restaurants, so I've always gravitated towards that, right? I've always been around food most of my whole life. The service industry really speaks to my heart. I mean, helping other people, the hospitality, just making people feel welcome and making them feel like it's a home, even though it's not a home, it's a restaurant and it's a business, but making them feel like they're comfortable enough to just, kick up their feet and have a good time. And that's always been at my heart, I think.
That's great. I think there's certain things that kind of bring people together. And I think when you can kind of, break bread with people, that really kind of allows people to just kind of feel good. You feed their stomachs, but you kind of feed their souls as well. And
absolutely.
What sort of obstacles have you guys faced? I mean, you're obviously not the only catering business out there, right? So what are different ways that you're able to kind of deal with those obstacles that you're dealing with small business to kind of get the word out about all the great things that you're doing with Tasty Catering?
Sure. I think the biggest obstacle, and I don't like to reference COVID too much, but COVID really changed the way the world operates, right? Sure. And it changed the way corporations operate.
Absolutely.
So the hardest thing as a caterer, and every caterer faces this, every restaurant faces this, it's that when people are working from home, they're eating at home, right? They're not going out, they're not ordering catering, they're not having meetings. The whole work from home hybrid, we really had to pivot and make a hard pivot, right? Because it used to be Mondays through Thursdays were just jam-packed. Fridays were always a little light because of whatever reason. But now Mondays are light, Fridays are light, because people are just working from home. They're not having meetings. So the biggest pivot for us was making sure we get the social catering out and make sure that we're for everybody, right? We do a ton of company picnics. We do weddings. We do galas. We do special events, and just being open to new opportunities. So during COVID, we actually fed the National Guard. We fed while they were doing all the vaccinations, we did lunch boxes for them locally. So it was,
that's great.
Like I said, everybody kind of had to get in with the team and figure out how we're going to keep this business open and how we're the best way to do it. And the best way to do it was just, being open, like I said, to those new opportunities.
Doug, with that, accompanying that with that theme, in order to keep things going, you've got to acquire your customer base. You got to keep your customer base and you got to grow your customer base. So what sort of strategies do you guys try to put in place in order to effectively grow that customer base?
Oh, the biggest thing is getting back to basics, getting back to that old school mentality. When I came up as a salesperson, right, you made 100 phone calls a day. It was cold calls and you just cranked them out, right? You did the grind. Sure. And I don't want to get generational, but people today don't don't really want to make those phone calls anymore. They like to text, they like to email, they like to do things on social media, right? And that's all. It's a great way to contact people as well. I'm all about multi-level contact, getting everything. But I think that face to face and that phone call, right? Talking to somebody, really seeing their body language, hearing the voice inflection, really getting their tone, right?
Sure.
And that's what I've been kind of tasked with at Tasty Catering. That's why I go out to every networking event I can, right?
Right.
Just I tell people this all the time. I'm not selling catering. I'm an evangelist. I am spreading the gospel of Tasty, right? I can't make you order. All I can do is let you know we exist and we're here for you if you need us.
Right. We're gonna snippet that part. You're an evangelist. I don't think I've ever heard anything like that. I love that. I love that. So with that, so kind of just accompanying with that, obviously referral generation is a big thing. So is that something that you're really sort of relying upon? I mean, are you guys really relying on, hey, listen, if we provide something for you, if you guys can be so kind, can you let other people know what we're doing and kind of help them guide you through that way, or what other sort of ways are you doing that in order to continue going on so everybody can kind of learn about it? It's not just about picking up phones. And by the way, Doug, I come from a long experience of sales myself. I remember 100 dials. I used to do hundreds of dials. So I
Yeah.
remember those days and just picking up the phone and getting a lot of people telling you, stop calling me, man. But how do you guys really kind of make sure that those people that you're satisfying are also satisfying you by helping you grow your customers?
Well, and I mean, referrals are huge in our business, right? Reviews, but also, you talk to somebody who placed an order with us and that maybe they did a picnic for 100 people for their, family day, right? And they had the inflatables out there, they had games, and that was a great time, right? And everybody enjoyed the food. Then it's like, okay, thank you so much, Joe, for inviting us into your company. Do you know anybody at another company
Sure.
that would probably want to do the same thing? Right. And we can help them do the same thing. And, after you come off a successful event like that, people are, they're pumped. They're more than happy for the most part to say,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what? My best friend Nancy works for this company down the street. I know we were shooting ideas on picnics. Give her a call, right? And it's just pick up the phone and give a Nancy a call, right?
Gotcha. Yeah, strike it while it's hot, right?
Right.
You got a hot lead, man. You got to hit that. So, what sort of, you've been doing this for a while, and you did reference what was happening during COVID with the organization I was working with. I was working with an organization where myself and my team were flying around the country. So, to say COVID altered our approach at that time would be an understatement. But what sort of trends do you see in your industry, and how are you planning on dealing with those future trends?
A lot of the trends, people went to like more boxes, right? They went to more individualized meals because it was safer, right? They weren't, you know, we still do buffets and we still do, the big things, but a lot of people like the box lunches because they just grab it, it's theirs. Nobody else is, pawing around in their food. And
Sure.
so that was a big thing, the individualized meals. And honestly, one of the biggest things that I found that has really changed in the food service industry is the dietary restrictions,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
All the gluten-free, vegan, vegetarian, lactose, nut-free,
Mhm.
and it's super important. If somebody, I have an allergy, I have a peanut allergy,
Oh, gosh.
and it's super important that people understand what's in their food, right? And that as a caterer, that we let you know, hey, this has peanuts in it.
Mm.
This is nut free, and it's legitimately nut free. Like we've done the research, we know it's clean and it's safe for you to eat.
Sure.
So that's one of the biggest things that have changed really in the food and beverage industry is that really those dietary restrictions and how people eat.
Absolutely. Doug, we're all about positivity here, man. And you bring it. You bring it very strong. But tell us, give us an example of a moment of success that you've had in the field. A client that you really were able to help out. Give me an example, one or two, of just some stuff that you've been able to do that kind of like keeps you going, keeps that engine rolling, keeps that fire burning.
I think for me and probably for Tasty, it's when we do the weddings, right?
Oh yeah,
Because it's such an important day for everybody involved, right? And
absolutely.
it's hopefully the only wedding you're gonna, the only time you're gonna do this,
Sure.
God willing, and you're always going to look back at that day. I mean, everybody has a wedding book, right? Everybody they go back to that day, and you know they don't really remember the food unless it was bad or the
Yeah.
service unless it was bad. So everything has to be precise, everything has to be accurate. And when you talk to that bride or the mother of the bride or the in-law, and you get their vision, and maybe you have 3 different visions, and you have to compile all those and make it happen, right? And when you do, it just feels, you see the joy, you see everybody just enjoying themselves, and nobody's thinking about anything else but the love that is in the air, right? And I think that's what I draw most from catering, because that's the hospitality thing, right? You're making people happy, right? And when food makes people happy.
Doug, where did I just got to ask a question to combine with that. Where did this interest in servicing others come from? I mean, you're referencing the fact you played rugby. I was friends with a lot of rugby players, and they weren't all maybe so lovely because it's a pretty physical sport, and I love sports in general, as you could see. So, but where did that where can you localize? Where did that come from? Where just your desire to just want to do good and really want to help other people out?
Honestly, it started with my parents. Both of them are still with.
Oh,
I'm blessed to have both of them with me, and I get to see them, at least a couple times a month. They live local, and
nice.
it just that love that was in the house, and they, especially my mother, has always taken care of people, right? And she's always been the one to, the neighbor is sick, she's going to make a casserole and walk it over there. And so it's that I know that's where it came from. It just came from my parents, and it came from my family. I love seeing people smile.
That's great.
Like legitimately smile, not a fake smile, but oh my God, thank you so much for this. You have no idea how much this means to me. It's just a little casserole, right? It was a nothing thing to make, right? But the joy that it brought to that person was immeasurable. I think seeing that and growing up in that household, and being close with my grandmothers and great grandmothers, I don't know, I want to pass that on, right? I love to see that smile, and I love to see that joy.
I love it. There's a movie many, many moons ago called Pay It Forward.
Oh yeah,
And I
Kevin
think,
Spacey, right?
yes, I think you're really kind of fulfilling that. I know I try to do the same thing. Doug,
Absolutely.
what's the best way that people can reach out to you, reach out to Tasty Catering? And again, I love to bring people on that I've tried their products so I can believe in their products, and then I can reference their products, and I can recommend their products. So I've certainly, it's not the first time I've gone to an event that was catered, but I was really impressed with the kind of food that you guys bring, and I was impressed with you. So how do people reach out to you? How do people get a hold of you?
Best way is our website, tastycatering.com. If you're looking for something, you can do a inquiry there. You can always call us on the phone if you're like me and like to talk to people.
Sure.
We have social media, Facebook, Instagram, but probably the website is probably the best.
Well, listen, Doug, I know you've been struggling here this week, these last couple of days, and I really appreciate you powering through. Your old rugby coach would be really proud of you to do what you go
Thank you.
through. But thank you so much for spending some time with us. You have a great day, okay?
Thanks so much, Joe. You have a great day as well. We'll talk soon.
You got it, bud.